So, here is an interesting interpretation of a game. This is a spooky horror mansion game, but it's actually Minesweeper. Yeah, so I mean that is an experience that I really was not expecting. I haven't played too far into it, just a little bit, but there is some interesting progression, interesting developments. Note that this is a game that is very much in development still. It's still new in its cycle, so take that into account. Can't quite read the versions. It's artfully blurred. I think it's 0.31.2, so it's not a version 1 yet. There is a lot of music here, and there is interesting settings in the settings map. Um, let's have a look at a few of these quickly before we go. And so we've got the usual visual settings. We've got the language that is apparently not working yet. We've got the gameplay, so your key bindings basically. And then we have the sound, and I have turned the music all the way down, but it was still blasting in the main menu, so I have muted the tab. Yeah, this is an in-browser game as usual. So yeah, let's jump in. We'll go through some gameplay, and then we can talk about some critiques afterwards for those who might be interested. This is called Illumination of Mansion. Right, so this is our map of where we can go. There's text up in the top right corner. I'm not sure if there's an easier way to view that. No, not really. Okay. Yeah, that seems to be a bit of a bug. This is obviously designed for a screen resolution that I don't have and hasn't adjusted accordingly. Anyway, we'll jump in to the first level, and yeah, so that is our progression. I'm assuming this is either forthcoming or it gets unlocked as we move along. I'm not sure. So, room 1. This is us standing in the room, and we can move from left to right. Let me see if I can actually unmute the tab. No, I don't want a new tab. I want to unmute the site. So yeah, very good sounds. So we can move backwards and forwards. E, I think. Oh, E actually changes the perspective. And what is this? Not sure. Maybe that becomes more obvious later. Anyway, so I like this perspective a bit more. Oh, we can actually move our view around. But the moving, we need to be in this perspective, unfortunately. So, yeah, we can move left or right. And then obviously forwards and backwards. And these tiles are basically Minesweeper tiles, so there might be a threat underneath them. In this first level, we don't have a threat, and the goal is to jump forward until we go through the door. So yeah, so here we have room 2, which I think has our first threat in it. So we have jumped onto a tile, and one of the surrounding tiles has a threat. Just like Minesweeper, we are told that there is one threat there. I think it might be this tile in front of us, so let's see if we can hit it. No. Is it the one on the left? It is. And that is our fatality jump scare, and we start the room again. But we can safely walk past him because we know he's on the left, and finish the level. 3, we have slightly more of a challenge because I think he is in front of us, and we can move around him and finish the map. And 4, we have 2 threats, which I think are to our left and to our right, because I automatically jumped forward before looking at the options. So there's one there, there's one there. We can move safely between them. Oh, there's 3 now. So what changed is just this level. So my intellectual guess is that there is in fact 1 in the middle. If we shift to the right, we only see 2. We can walk past him. And yeah, so standard Minesweeper logic about figuring out where the mines are. And just before we finish the gameplay, I'll show you that there are interesting new mechanics. So for example, we have these guys, If we jump in front of them, they prepare themselves, and if we jump again, they attack. And if we had jumped to the right, or sort of, I guess, stayed where we are, I don't think we can do that. But if we jumped to the right, he would have hit us, and there would have been a fatality. Let's try this one, and we get that. Oh, there's a skull under there. So yeah, so that's the mechanic there, and obviously you can see how this can be combined with other systems to make interesting map designs. And that's it. I am going to stop there and cut out of the gameplay. Let's just reload this so we don't have it crackling in the background. Right, so yeah, that is the gameplay. If that is all you are here to see, thank you for watching. Please don't forget to leave a like and a subscription to increase engagement and teach YouTube that these are the kind of game videos you want to see, and to help my channel with a little bit of hope. Yeah, so that's a good way to increase engagement, but the best way is to leave some comments. Tell me what you think about the game. Tell me what games you think I should have a look at. Anything along those lines. Yeah, and that will be the absolute best thing for us going forwards, for us both, because it'll improve me for your watching pleasure, and it'll improve your experience in YouTube. And that's my sales pitch. Anyway, that's my cat coughing in the background. So yeah, thank you for watching for the gameplay, and I hope to see you in the next video. But if you want to stick around and hear about the critique, well, we do have some things to talk about here. Again, I'm bearing in mind that this is a game that is very much in development, very, very sort of early in its its construction lifestyle. I think it was published like 15 days ago, and they're asking for sort of comments and tests and things like that. Yeah, so this is very much a game to keep an eye on, but we are going to critique it from that perspective, as we should do. So what can we say about it? First of all, the UI is fine, is very, very good looking. I think the sound element doesn't work terribly well. The sound controls, because like I said, I turned the sound down in the settings, went back to the main menu, and it was still blasting the music at me. I don't know if it was going to continue doing that in the how much longer on, but yeah, so I think there needs to be a little bit of fine tuning, fine tweaking to the use of the settings. Also, I don't think it was a way to access the settings in the game. So if you change your minds about any settings, you have to roll back to the main menu, and I don't know. That's a little bit of polish, a little bit of player quality of life that might be considered for one of the later polishings of the game before its final release. The sounds were all great. The music was a bit heavy, but other than that, yeah, I enjoyed the sounds very, very much. They were nice, chunky, satisfying sounds. So full marks on the sounds, and obviously full marks on the art. It's a very, very good looking game. I like this kind of brushstroke horror style. I find it very satisfying. If I had to make a critique there, it would be nice to have some walls rather than this hovering in an open void thing. I can tell that there's a trick there in that you're finding it difficult to display the threats further down. But I don't know, it just I get a little bit, the immersion is a little bit lost when it's just this empty void that you are hovering in. It becomes more Minesweeper than the mansion concept. Yeah, I don't know. It's just something worth considering. If there's a way you can add more aesthetics in the background here to make it less of a hovering void, but I think implementing that might be a bit tricky. I don't know. I just feel that there's a bit of an immersion loss from this view. Yeah, I'd like to have known what the thing was for shifting to that sort of crow's eye view. I like the idea, but yeah, I'm going to play the game a little bit further and see where that comes up, how that comes up. And finally, the immersion. what am I doing here? Why am I going to this mansion? Why am I this creepy dude with a hat? Why am I trying to illuminate it? I would love to know the background and the story, and I'd like that to be wrapped into the game a bit better. Yeah, they seem to be consumables that you pick up and then can use. I don't know. I must experiment with that a bit more. It's a pity the kind of tutorial didn't really. Well, it wasn't really a tutorial. There was a tutorial in that the maps were. It was incredibly simple to go through, and then increasingly more complicated. But there was no sort of instructions, which is fine. I mean, that's a good tutorial, but it's going to be interesting to see how this is implemented and taught to the player. Yeah, work in progress, occasional bugs, and a very heartfelt and sincere request for feedback and attention. So I mean, if you guys come and play, talk to the devs, tell them what's going on, tell them what you liked, and that helped make this game even better. So from the immersion side of things, I would have liked a bit more story up front, just to say who I am, why I'm here, why am I risking facing these lads off, where my illumination doesn't seem to have done much. Some sort of king of ghosts, I don't know, a leash. I suppose one final comment is try and get a first-person language English speaker to work on the text a bit more. It does read a little bit third-person English. What was an example sentence? If you find it easy, wait for it coming more soon. I mean, that is very clearly entirely understandable. It's absolutely fine. It's just it reads wrong. If you find it too easy, have some patience. More is coming soon. Might be a better sentence for the same thing. As an example, it is what it is. It is the nature of English to be a pain in the butt language, and I am very, very grateful that I grew up speaking English as my first language, because I would have really struggled to learn it. So that's it really. That's all the critiques I have. A little bit of UI polish and some more storyline are really the big ones there, and then in the long-term view, just a little more background and things for the stages would be nice, but obviously not vital. But yeah, very, very interesting game. Thank you for presenting it to us, and thank you to all of those who have watched so far. The link is in the description. Go and give it some game time, and go and give the devs some love and feedback. And we'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye.